One of my favorite people is here, and I know you are a fan of this gentleman and highly respectful. He's been one of our best guests we've ever had on the show. He's a world-famed astronomer, professor of planetary studies at Cornell. His latest book is called Cosmos, which also happens to be the name of the show, which debuts September 28th, this Sunday on PBS, and is devoted to the study of the cosmos, which I don't know we'll find out the difference between the cosmos and the universe and so forth. Would you welcome, please, Dr. Carl Sagan. First of all, congratulations, because I know how long you have discussed this project here many times on the show, and to see it come to fruition must be quite a thrill for you.
It's a pleasure to have done Cosmos with a group of extremely talented people, and to see it fulfill all my expectations and more. I'm really pleased and delighted.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's gotten some tremendous publicity.
Yeah, it has.
The cover of TV Guide this week. I noticed on the Herald Examiner the other day. Complete review of it, which is rather unusual for the show that goes. And there's something I was talking about this afternoon that kind of bugs me, and maybe it does you too. Television networks keep saying they want to put on quality shows for the family, upgraded. Now, a show like this comes along, which really is where a family can sit down with their youngsters and explore the universe and all about life, and it ends up on PBS, which is only unfortunate to the extent that it's not going to get the huge audience that commercial television has. Did you talk to any of the networks at all about something like this?
Well, we didn't try to sell it to the networks.
Right.
KCET Los Angeles, the PBS station here, came to us with a proposal, and as soon as it was clear that we would have content control, we said yes. And part of the reason that PBS is not a supremely effective competitor with the networks is that there aren't PBS stations in a lot of places, and they're also UHF instead of VHF, so they're just not, people can't have access to it. Yeah. But we're hopeful. At least some people have said.
I would like to think that along the way that the major network will pick up on it and show these episodes.
Well, I hope so too. And if you happen to see Fred Silverman, you might mention it.
Yeah, let me check with him. His office right here. He actually moved right down here to keep a tight control on things. When people talk about the universe and the cosmos, what's the difference? Cosmology and astronomy are related, but
certainly related. But cosmos is a Greek word which means not just the universe, but the aspect of it which permits it to be understood, the ordered and regular aspect of it. You could imagine a universe which was fabulously chaotic, in which there were no regularities, no rules, no laws of nature.
Right.
But fortunately, we don't live in such a universe. We live in a universe which can be understood, in which the laws of nature here are the same as billions of light years away, which means that all you have to do is study the science here, and you can know about a whole lot of other places.
So far, that does hold up, doesn't it? That the mathematical and physical laws that are observable here seem to be universal as far as can be determined now.
Yeah, it's a remarkable fact.
Do you think there's any possibility, now, of course, we're right back to the chicken and the egg thing again, possibility that there might be something, well, how can there be something beyond something? It's the old finite.
Depends what the definition of the universe is. If the universe is everything that is, then there isn't anything outside the universe. But it is possible to have closed-off regions of space which are separated from others, and in that sense there might be other universes, and there might even be ways of going to them, although this is a highly speculative point. In Cosmos, we have some fun with this. I slide down into a black hole to find out what happens. You see me disappearing down the black hole.
It's an interesting term, isn't it, for something that you can't see. So how do you describe what the black, since one cannot be seen, I guess it's there because of the emissions of the...
Well, it's two ways. One is it's enormous gravity. A black hole is a place where the gravity is so intense that even light can't get out, so it's completely dark. But if it's revolving around some other object that is shining, then by the gravitational tugs that the black hole makes on this other star, you can detect its presence. And another thing that happens is that black holes tend to have disks of matter surrounding them, in which the friction generates X-rays. And one of the candidate black holes, something called Cygnus X1, both does this gravitational pull and is a source of X-rays, and very likely is an example of the legendary black hole.
Yeah, then there was the theory that once you enter a black hole, you could go into another universe or into another time frame. I suppose that's science fiction so far?
Well, there are some people who seriously think that if you were to slip down into a black hole and could survive the trip, which is highly unlikely, that you would emerge somewhere else in space and some when else in time.
Yeah, those are concepts that are hard for the mind to really sort out.
And they might even be false, but they're fun to talk about.
We have a couple of little pieces of film from, is this from one of the upcoming episodes?
Yeah.
Tell you what we'll do. Let me do the commercial first, then we'll come back and tell us what we're going to see.
Terrific.
And we'll watch together. Stay where you are. Okay, Carl, why don't you explain what we should look for in this first clip here?
Well, Cosmos is certainly about things in astronomy, but it's about a whole lot of other things, too. A lot of other sciences, but also myth and politics and religion and history, also biology. And the two clips we're going to see have to do, one, with what it is really like were you to dive into a living cell. I prick my finger and make some blood, then the camera swims into the bloodstream.
It's like Fantastic Voyage, yeah?
Except we go deeper than they did, into the cell, towards the heart of life, the DNA molecule. The other one shows in 40 seconds a compression of the 4 billion year history of life on Earth. So we evolved from the first cell to human beings. I don't know what order you have it in, but...
What do we have first? Well, we'll talk over it here. You can watch the monitor, watch it here, and then we can... Here's a monitor right up here, Carl.
Good. So here is the blood gushing from my finger. This is episode 2 of Cosmos.
Is this like an electron microscope?
No, this is so far optical microscopy.
Right.
You can see this with an ordinary microscope if you were down at that level. And every one of those is a red blood cell carrying oxygen, as the line of my co-writer Annie Gian says, to the remotest freckle.
Those are cells in the blood.
Those are cells in the blood, and most of them are red blood cells, but we are going to dive into a leukocyte, this one, a lymphocyte, and we're going to dive in to the inside of the cell, which is quite like many other cells in the body. And all of this information is as precise as we can manage it. You can see a bunch of 5 green blobs that we're approaching. Those are kind of factories on which enzymes are manufactured by instructions sent from inside the nucleus of the cell.
In a single cell?
The nucleus. Yeah, this is a whole cosmos inside a cell. This big blue lump to the right that we're approaching is the outside of the nucleus of the cell. In there is the holy of holies, the place where every activity in the cell and in all of life is directed from. The nucleus contains the master molecule of life, DNA, which we see here. It's been described as an explosion in a spaghetti factory. Every one of those long strands is a molecule of DNA containing all the hereditary information.
The double helix.
Double helix.
It's almost surrealistic, right? A cell is almost like the universe in microcosm, right?
Yeah, it's exactly the right word, a microcosm, a small universe.
Yeah.
And there are trillions of such cells within us. In fact, there are as many cells in the human body as there are stars in the Milky Way galaxy. And every one of those cells comes, of course, from one cell, a fertilized egg, and every one of them contains the identical genetic information on how to make the next generation.
Yeah. You mentioned the Milky Way galaxy, our galaxy, which we can't see because we're stuck in the middle of it, like in the forest. But I was reading an article, I think, in Astronomy magazine, where they kind of depicted what it would look like if you could ever observe it from the outside.
We do that in Cosmos. We approach the Milky Way from the outside.
And our galaxy is just one of billions of galaxies.
That's right. So there are something like a 1 followed by 22 zeros number of stars in the cosmos.
Yeah.
It's an extremely big place.
Yeah, and the average distance between the stars, you look at night and they look so close together, and the average distance is maybe 4 or 5 light years apart,
That's
right?
A light year being about 10 trillion kilometers.
So actually, space is actually mostly empty.
The universe is made mostly of nothing.
Yeah. I know you hold to the fact, or you're one of the people, I think, that would like to believe that there are intelligent beings on other planets. We've discussed this before, but it's always intriguing because of what it would do psychologically, probably, to human beings here.
I think it would be a character-building experience for us. I mean, think of the arrogance of assuming that out of 100 billion stars in this Milky Way galaxy, or 400 billion stars, that ours is the only one which has an inhabited planet. It's such a self-centered...
It's a rather chauvinistic attitude, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, but then there are other people who think we may well be unique and put up fairly valid arguments showing what has to happen here is very unlikely that it would happen some other places. They put forth those arguments anyway.
Yeah, those arguments are put forth. Precisely what happened here is impossible to happen somewhere else. But life covers many different forms.
Yeah, we look at us, you know. I think we've talked about some before. Somebody said if you were going to create a perfect human, or when I say human, a perfect living thing, you wouldn't have 2 ears over here. You would have something coming out of the top of your head that would hear sound all around, right, to be completely efficient.
Well, there's no question that we are the way we are because of a long evolutionary heritage, and, you know, our ancestors walked on 4 legs. Well, in fact, we'll see that in the next clip, and a lot of the...
I don't think so.
Can we run it quickly?
Right away.
Run it right now, Bob.
Let's do it. 40 seconds.
Okay, let's
This
get
is the
going.
evolution of life. 4 billion years compressed into 40 seconds.
Here we go.
These are molecules before the origin of the first cell.
Now they're
So,
dividing. Yeah.
First communal organism composed of many cells. Here's our ancestor who was stuck on the ocean bottom, which then evolved gill slits, the ability to swim, something now recognizably a fish, an amphibian which colonized the land hundreds of millions of years ago. A branch led to the dinosaurs, but that's not our branch. Our branch, small, furry, scurrying creatures who took to the trees and then came down, invented language and technology, and became us.
We'll be right back. Okay, we've got three big shows coming up. You'll be first on Sunday at 10 o'clock out here. There's some people from another planet right there. Yours is 10 o'clock out here. Sunday?
Sunday at 8.
Steve's show is Tuesday at 10 o'clock. And we'll be on Monday at 9 o'clock for the anniversary. Thank you. Have a nice weekend. There's the book. That's the show.